Are we okay? My name is Sharon Watt, and I'm the president of the League of Women Voters of Cowlitz County. As a nonpartisan political organization, the League encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. The League is a nonpartisan organization that neither supports nor opposes any political party or candidate for public office. The League of Women Voters was founded in 1920, born out of the women's suffrage movement that secured the 19th Amendment ensuring the women's right to vote. Women and men who are citizens may join the League as voting members. The League is a highly respected citizens organization that prides itself on taking action on important issues that affect you, your family, and your community, issues on which you can make a difference. In the past 5 years, the Cowlitz County League has held candidate forums in Longview, Woodland, and Castle Rock at the levels of federal, state, county, and city offices. In addition, the Cowlitz League offers a directory giving contact information for federal, state, county, and city elected officials, including school districts, the ports, and the PUD. And all this literature is available in the table and back. If you're interested in learning more about the League, we have, of course, information available out in the back there. And information from the candidates is in the entryway. Due to the number of candidates, we have decided to depart from past practice, and we will not take questions from the audience, nor will there be formal rebuttals. We would encourage the candidates to make themselves available after the forum to speak with any audience members. Our moderator this afternoon is Irita Groves, who is a member of the League.
We'll just move right ahead. The candidates were asked to submit opening statements, which I will now read. On the audience's left are the candidates for position 1. C.J. Nickerson, number 1 I'm reading. I am C.J. Nickerson, and I seek your vote for position number 1 because I have the experience and problem-solving skills to make our school district better than it is today. My experience in education includes teaching in elementary, secondary, and university levels, 14 years at the State Office of Public Instruction, working in the Division of Curriculum and Instruction. My master and doctorate degrees in education were earned at the University of Oregon. I have served as a board member for state and county organizations. For 14 years, I served as president of the Comprehensive Health Education Foundation. Thus, I have experience as a board member and as an executive working with the board of directors. When elected to the board, I will work for students being the main focus of our decision making, early and meaningful involvement by teachers, parents, and other stakeholders in decision making, Monticello remaining a neighborhood middle school, finding the best option for complex problems, programs that will prepare all of our students for success after school. And next to Mr. Nickerson is Daryl Smith, and this is his statement. Daryl is a retired electrical engineer who has worked in designing electronic systems and software. He is also actively working with college professors to develop a web-based software tools to further their goals to provide free, high-quality texts and lexicons in biblical Greek and Hebrew. His wife is a Head Start teacher. He believes that our school systems need a return to basics and austerity. It's time we get people with real understanding of math, science, and technology and have applied that understanding in the real world involved in curriculum and textbook selections. We also need administrators who will fight back against federal intrusions, which are primarily based on social engineering. What got him started thinking about getting involved with the school board occurred a few years ago which some of his younger relatives were having difficulty in school, particularly with math. While helping, he discovered that textbooks were full of gibberish about rock stars instead of math, and the math presented clearly showed the author of the textbook did not know math. He is opposed to school merger plans for a host of reasons. Kids need smaller class sizes and minimized busing so they can learn and grow with minimized disturbance to their lives. And next to Mr. Smith is Jerry Springer.
Stinger.
I'm sorry, I'm very sorry.
It happens a lot. I just don't make as much money as Mr. Springer.
Oh, okay, I'm very sorry, really. Jerry Stinger, I guess we get double billing today. It's my honor to serve as the president of the Longview School Board. I have served on the board for 5 years, and I'm asking for your vote for Longview School Board position number 1. I am a 1980 graduate of Mark Morris High School, married with 2 beautiful children, both are enrolled in Longview School District. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree from Vanguard University and a Master's of Public Administration from Lewis and Clark College. I worked 17 years in mid-management at the City of Longview and left in 2007 to purchase a small business. I am running my campaign on a platform of proven leadership that has helped guide our district through some of the toughest economic times that our community has ever faced. The same steady and purposeful leadership is required as we wrestle with the reality of our declining student enrollment and its effect on our district facility footprint. As an incumbent of the school board, I should be judged differently than my opponents. They have ideas and thoughts. I have a proven track record, and in the next hour I intend to show you both my successes and my future vision for our children. Thank you for your time and consideration. And the board candidates for position number 2. You're right. This is James Campbell. My name is James Campbell, current Vice Chair of the Longview School Board and candidate for re-election to position 2. Since my appointment to the school board and subsequent election in 2011, my experience includes subcommittees on budget, facilities, technology, and communications. I accepted the appointment and am running for re-election for one simple reason. I believe that education is vitally important for both our students and our community, and I am committed to the work we are doing. This position is not a stepping stone for me to any higher office, nor is this a decision born out of frustration over a single issue. This is not a single issue job. Outside, you get closer. Sorry.
Outside.
Okay. My experience includes some subcommittees on budget, facilities, technology, and communications. I accepted the appointment and am running for re-election for one simple reason. I believe that education is vitally important for both our students and our community, and I am committed to work as we are doing. Committed to the work we are doing. This position is not a stepping stone. I'm committed to the work we're doing. This position is not a stepping stone for me to any higher office, nor is this a decision born out of frustration over a single issue. This is not a single issue job. Outside the current facilities conversation, we still need to manage a school district which requires experience and proven leadership. My family and I have lived in Longview for 23 years, and this community's support for its children and their education was one of the reasons we decided to raise our family here. I've been honored to serve these last 2 years on the school board, and in that time, not only have I gained the experience required, but I've developed a proven record and reputation of approaching each issue in a thoughtful and analytical manner, always considering how my decisions affect the bottom line. our students. Excuse me. Next to Mr. Campbell is James Mossman, and this is his statement. Imagination is a possession of the young. Only children understand the infinite possibilities that this world holds for all people. Adults cannot comprehend this coexistence of imagination and reality. In the process of growing up, the ability to dream has become lost. Our schools need to provide our students the skills and knowledge, scope and sequence of a balanced educational program that enables our students to bring strong foundation and platform beneath their dreams. My 40 years as a classroom teacher provide me the insight and experience to help this community build an educational system that meets the needs of every student and in every classroom. This can happen when teachers, students, parents, and the community work together. And next to Mr. Mossman is James Norton, and this is his statement. My name is James Morton. I am running to save Mark Morris to make sure that all options are being explored and give the public a choice. I work to inspire with a can-do attitude. A can't attitude won't ever succeed. It's lost already, if it's lost already. We need to save money for technical training, expanding summer services, and other options that benefit the students. I graduated in the top 11% of my class from Mark Morris High School. I am an assistant manager at KB Toys. I received leadership training in the Army National Guard. I am currently a transportation specialist. I have been campaigning for alternative hydropower that doesn't require dams for 10 years. In my opinion, affordable energy equals prosperity. Look me up on Facebook for details. I'm a 44-year-old Native American with a 2.5-year-old son. I have a fiance with 4 children. My fiance's children have also afforded me the opportunity to interact with the schools. I have been a long-time resident of Cowlitz County, as has my family. They have a homestead, which is McKee Road in Castle Rock. My grandma always said, show me, don't tell me. I am from Missouri, it's the show me state. And next we have J.D. Rossetti. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping somebody. That's right. Okay. And this is J.D. Rossetti's statement. Invested, informed, and dedicated to a positive, healthy, and safe learning environment for our children. J.D. Rossetti is an advocate for Longview Public Schools in our community. J.D. Rossetti values input from our parents, teachers, friends, and neighbors, and he appreciates the opinions of our local community. J.D. believes we must work together to create positive educational opportunities where all students are challenged and given the support they need to achieve high academic goals. Now more than ever, we must continue in our pursuit of innovative technology and creative learning environments. J.D. Rossetti currently works as legislative assistant Representative Brian Blake of the 19th District and owns jdrose.net, a local web design and consulting business in Cowlitz County. J.D. serves as board member for Pathways 2020, the Cowlitz-Wekiwan United Way, and presides as chair of the Cowlitz County Democrats. J.D. worked for the Washington State School Directors Association and received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Public Affairs from Washington State University. J.D. resides in the Columbia Valley Gardens. So, I think we've all done this before and know kind of how it's going to work. We have timekeepers here. The red means there's 30 seconds, and the green means no. Okay, explain them. Okay, 1 minute for the yellow, 30 seconds for that, and stop. And what we're doing today, I don't know if everybody feels like League of Women Voters is honest enough to do just a drop in the basket. What we thought we would do today is just take like a lottery draw as to who's going to begin to answer the questions. So any objections to my just doing so? And the name I pulled is James Norton. So, each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the first question, and we will begin with Mr. Norton. Aside from the school merger, what are the other issues of concern for you?
I think the biggest issue facing the school district is how we allocate money, how we go about funding issues and things like that. The best way to fund things, I think, is like the PTA does. They target what the needs are of the people, they listen to the parents, and they raise the money for it. That's the success that the Longview School Board's been, that I've been seeing, like the Mint Valley School raised money for the playground equipment with the school board, so they didn't have money for it. These volunteer groups and women groups, like the auxiliary at the Longview Eagles, for example, are the things we should be doing. And the school board has started a foundation. I think we should support things like that. Get a trust fund going for the public to fund these issues, so we don't have to rely on the next level of government to do it. And so I really think most of the issues are about how we allocate money. We're required to do certain things to justify why we spend the money, how we spend the money. That's why we spend all this money on these evaluations, these estimates. All this is wasted money. If we could just, if the board knows really what needs to be done, if we have the mechanism to fund it, we could spend more money educating children. And that's what we're here to do, is get the best bang for our buck and the most education for all of our kids we can.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Rossetti is next. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I think I have it. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate the support and coming to hear what all the candidates have to say. Thank you to all the candidates for being here as well. Appreciate everybody's participation, and of course the league for putting this on, because I think candidate forums like this are very important for the community. So to answer the question, I just want to start with saying that I think the biggest issue is innovative technologies and creative learning. And I would say that by 3 different avenues, because I think we need to look at the whole child all the way from K to high school. The 3 areas are 3rd grade reading, that's number 1. Second would be STEM, a focus on STEM technologies in middle school, and the last is career readiness for high schoolers. So with 3rd grade reading, I think it might be time to start having a discussion for elementary schools to go to a year-round school. I know it's been talked about before, but I think that we need to start having that conversation again. And I'm saying specifically in the elementary schools, because the kids develop in the elementary schools, they need to be able to read by 3rd grade. And every time they go on summer break, they take a step back and they lose the progress that they made during the year. We need to stop that vicious cycle and continue to see improvements in reading in all the elementary schools all across the board. The reason why we need to focus on all elementary schools is because if one kid moves from one district to another district within the Longview School District, they need to be able to participate in the same place that they left off. Second is the STEM technologies. With STEM technologies, we need to focus on middle school and integrate those with electives, because kids need to be able to have a well-rounded education and be able to experience a lot of different things in those developing ages. And last, career readiness. I think that we need to really emphasize vocational programs in high school. We need to look at horticulture, because I see Ian in the back. We need to emphasize the trades. Jeff Washburn and Mike Bridges, I talked to them about doing electric lineman type work as well as building trades. And so those are the type of vocations we need to provide, as well as running START program that we already do. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will go to Mr. Nickerson, running for position number 1.
Thank you. In looking beyond the merger question, I think that for me, one of the top concerns is what I call talent flight. We've lost 11 top educators from Longview to Kelso. Just recently, a school psychologist left Longview, took a job in Kalama, even though for less pay, even though they will have to commute to Kalama. Those of us in education know that the most single significant determining factor outside of the family and how a student learns is the teacher. We cannot afford to lose top-notch teachers. School board members need to ask the question why. Losing talented professionals is, in my estimation, a more serious problem than losing students. We lost 49 students this year out of a projected 150. So the district actually overestimated the number of students we would lose. The number two thing I would have would be the levy. We have an impending levy. The incumbent rightfully takes credit for having passed 2 levies along with support from Jody Kirkpatrick. Now those of us who know Jody Kirkpatrick know he got more than support from Jody. Jody has spent countless hours working in this district and has a great reputation for her commitment to the schools. And I think it's important that we listen to her words at the November Facilities Planning Commission. And I would hope the incumbent takes note of this, that in spite of the fact Longview citizens have a long-standing history of supporting schools, she said, if we close Mark Morris, we may never pass a levy again. I think that's a serious problem.
Thank you. And next, Mr. Smith.
Thank you all for having me here. And I think the biggest issues that we have right now is we have a lot of people that are in the management and administration of the school system without really looking at the core curricula, and as Mr. Nickerson said, about retaining teachers who can teach. And throwing money and time while the core is crumbling is very ineffective. We need to make sure that our curricula is good. Return to the basics of reading, writing, arithmetic. How many times have you gone to a store where the cash register broke down and the little gal can't, or man can't do the math and return the correct change? I think that's basically the main thing that we need to do. And it's getting to be times of austerity, and we need to make sure that we look at all our options and not throw away the real estate that we have, because we may need it. We may need it in the future, and once you get rid of real estate, it's much more difficult and expensive to get it back when you need it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Stan.
Thank you. Mr. Nickerson, I appreciate you giving credit to Jody Kirkpatrick. She has done a wonderful job. I will take any credit you want to give me as being the co-chair of 2 successful levies as well. I will say, sir, I never saw you through the doors of any of those levies that we worked on. And I think that everyone in the community understands how important levies are. And I think the community needs to be involved in our levies. And I'm proud of the fact that I worked very hard on both levies to be able to see those levies pass in the middle of 18% unemployment in this community. We had the stations from KLOG, from all of the Portland stations coming down to Longview to see how we were going to run those levies, because they didn't know how anybody could pass a levy in the kind of environment that we were facing. So we went into this levy just believing in the people of Longview, as they always have supported their kids in phenomenal ways. And in fact, we not only passed the M&O levy in this community, but our community stepped up as well and did a tech and cap levy on top of it, so that our kids could have the future that they need with technology in this community. And they didn't do it just once, you did it twice. And I want to thank you for your participation in that. And I know as we continue to move forward in this process that the community is going to continue to do that. Because our kids are the important factor here, not the issues we have in front of us, but our children. That's what's important. I would like to say that when I did come in, my platform was technology. I want to see our kids empowered so that they can get out, they can get the jobs that they need, but they need the tools to do it. And so that's the one thing that we've been able to do with this money that you've been able to give us, is to do that. I also, the PLCs we've been able to give our teachers, the late start, where our teachers can now come in and start talking amongst themselves, finding out what our kids need. These are programs we're building on to try to make our kids have the best possible future and our teachers to be empowered in the best possible ways they can to be able to lead our kids forward. Thank you.
We'll move on to question number 2. I'm so sorry. Yes. Today, so nobody needs to go pick the one. I'm very sorry. Okay, Mr. Campbell.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you here today. Outside of the facilities discussion that we have, we do have some issues in our school district. For me personally, one of them is closing the achievement gap between our higher ed learners and our struggling kids while maintaining that fiscal responsibility. Hopefully with the implementation of Common Core, which is a big thing on our plate, we can keep that because our school district, especially at the elementary level, has a very high mobility rate of kids moving. And we do need to make that curriculum standard across the board for everyone so that these kids are learning at the same pace and the same material. In the fiscal responsibility, the board has to continue their diligence on prioritizing what we can do. It is a finite amount of money, so we need to find a way to dovetail those two things together. One way we can do that is through partnerships in the community. We've currently increased STEM opportunities for kids in vocational education through a partnership with Weyerhaeuser, and that's going to be a huge thing, is finding a way to make those classes dovetail into the required English and math and science credits to get those kids interested, to give teachers the latitude to teach outside of the standardized testing. As far as teachers and qualified teachers, yeah, that's a big issue to keep them. We have 99% of our teachers are highly qualified, and we have some phenomenal teachers doing great things in the schools right now. We've made some good inroads on progress and closing that achievement gap, but we need to make more because we've gone away from the AYP standard on schools, and now we're on an achievement index, and we're basically under a 5-year mandate to close that achievement gap by 50%. Or our schools are in transition. So for me, that's one of the big ones outside the facilities thing, is closing that achievement gap among students across the board, elementary through secondary.
Thank you. And Mr. Mossman, same question?
Thank you. I had a lot of time to prepare. That's great. I know. Thank you. We chains have to stick together. As a teacher for 40 years, I can see things that other people in other vocations don't see. You probably understand that I've been in the classroom at least 50 days this year, not only as a teacher's son, but also as a volunteer. I find that whatever policies that we have need to start at the classroom and move to the boardroom. And I do that following last year's book on education. It has to start at the classroom and move to the boardroom. And we need to do that more. Second of all, the teaching platforms. Those teachers in the classrooms who have to create the magic that makes our children learn. That has to begin in the classroom, not at the district office. Sorry, not at the district office. It starts in the classroom, and then the teachers get together in groups and decide where their students are